Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Oracle Hour. I am so excited to be here with you. First and foremost, happy Father's Day to those of you who are celebrating. We are so grateful for all of the fathers out there that have been incredible people, incredible role models, and bright spots in our lives. So definitely want to shout out the dads today. And I also want to let you guys know that if you feel compelled and you'd like to, you're more than welcome to share this transmission. There may be somebody out there who needs some messages tonight. I would love to see if we could break 20 people consistently tonight for our transmission, because it is a very special one. We're coming into the new moon energy. If you guys aren't familiar with the new moon, we're going to talk about that a little bit. And because of that, I decided to settle on simply the Moonology deck for tonight. So we're going to be getting some new moon readings. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also going to talk to you guys a little bit about my new program that is starting. It is, hello, Tara. Hello, Facebook user. It is mind-blowing. This program that I have put together that has early bird, well, not even early bird. It has like before the early bird pricing until tonight. It's called The Plunge. Thank you, Ashley. You're so sweet. Thank you. Oh, actually, that's Brooke. Thank you, Brooke. And so what was I going to say? So I'll be talking a little bit about The Plunge. The Plunge is by far my masterpiece so far to date. It's the culmination of everything that I have been putting together, that I've been sharing over the course of the last 5 years that I've been coaching, and it is just a masterpiece in all the ways. So I'm very, very excited to be bringing that to you. But first, let's talk about tonight. So tonight we are celebrating the new moon. And for those of you who are not aware of what is the significance of the new moon? So half of the month we're talking about the new moon, and half of the month we're building up to the full moon. The new moon is that moment when everything kind of becomes fresh again. Okay. So if you think of it in terms of beings who are constantly imagining themselves, reinventing themselves, right? Then the new moon is the opportunity to do just that. And so yesterday it was like 1:30 Eastern time, I think, was the new moon. And so what we're doing is we're talking about new, fresh energy. What are we bringing into this new month, into this new energy that we didn't have before? What are we clearing from before? What are we deciding that is no longer aligned since the last full moon? And then what are we building? What are we building? What are we bringing forward? What are we alchemizing from what has come before? Okay, so the new moon is a really beautiful time to kind of have, if you've ever heard of the tabula rasa, the clear slate, okay, the clean slate. It's just an opportunity to start over, fresh energy, being reborn anew. And so I love the new moon. It's a great time to journal. It's a wonderful time to set intentions. And so tonight we're going to be using the Moonology Oracle, which if you guys haven't used this one, it is by Yasmin Boland. And why I love this one is that even though the cards obviously are not all going to correspond to the new moon in Gemini, which is where we are now, even despite this, those cards are still going to have resonance to what is going on in your life. So if this is your first time catching me live and you've never actually experienced new moon energy before, or card readings in general, let me tell you a little bit about what I believe oracle cards are here to do. So if you think about the vast amount of things that there are to think about in your life, about how to change things, how to make things better, how to create more wholeness in your life, there is no shortage of ways that you could look at that. Okay. It is an infinitesimal amount of information that you could look at for potentials of what you could change or what you could shift. Okay. So this is the same as the way that our bodies take in information. Okay. You're constantly having so many different signals that your body actually has to tune some of them out. Okay. So if I'm to say to you, hey, wiggle your big toe on the left side, you can feel your big toe on the left side suddenly, but you weren't probably thinking about it until I said that. Hello, Facebook user. Guys, make sure you put your name if it's you so that I can welcome you properly. And please feel free to share this out. We will be doing free readings tonight. So if you know somebody who's like, I want to learn about, card readings or whatever, like please, please, please share. So what cards do is they take all of that information, that hundreds of different components. Hi, Vivi. I love you. All of these components and potential things to focus on and distills them down into one tiny aspect that we can focus on, that we can look at. Okay. So it's like hundreds of thousands of different components of like, well, maybe it's what I'm eating, maybe it's what I'm drinking, maybe it's who I'm dating, maybe it's, all these things. And then we whittle it down to one component. Oh, Joe. Happy Father's Day, by the way. Joe Ingram, ladies and gentlemen. He's always got a joke. Hello, Jessica Hopkins. You luckily, darling, show up. So you're good to go. Vivi, if you're I'd like a card, I don't know. Just make sure when you guys say who you are, you put your name next to it. So I will be opening up for cards in just a minute. Let me just finish my little monologue here. And so what are all these weird? Oh, my husband was writing flowers on my calendar. I'm like, what do these words mean? So what we're actually doing is we're giving you the opportunity to focus on some things that maybe wouldn't necessarily be in your mind. Okay. So that's why oracle cards are so powerful. I do not think that it's that they tell the future or that they give you information you didn't already have, but they give you the opportunity to really whittle down what you're thinking about and kind of like where you're going in this moment. Okay, awesome. All right, one more thing. Generally speaking, we like to bring folks on camera when they have a card. If you would not like to be on camera, you don't have to. But we are what? Oh, thank you so much, Vivi. But you guys are more than welcome to have a card, even if you don't jump onto the live. But sometimes it helps with the energy, and it also helps you get a better coaching experience. Okay, so with that, we talked about the deck. We talked about the new moon. Let's go ahead and open the card, whatever thing. Let's go ahead. Triggering your ADHD is an endorphin hit for my ADHD. Thanks, Joe. Thanks. I appreciate that. Okay, so if you would like a card, feel free to let me know at this time and I will start my list. I probably should starting the list before I do my little spiel, but then I wouldn't be able to focus. So that's probably not a good idea. That's okay, Tara. No worries. Tara. Okay. That's okay. Okay, Persephone. Anybody else? Hi, April. Would you like a card tonight? Okay, Joe. Sure, I'll put you in there. Absolutely. I know you love this stuff. Okay. Tara, let's go with you first, and then we'll see what else shakes out. Do I have permission to pull a card on your behalf? Joe has so many dad jokes, which makes sense because he's a dad. Okay, April. Joe doesn't want a card. Joe doesn't believe in this stuff, you guys. Joe is the stoic, which you would know if you ever watched our show that is on consistently every 27th Monday. You got it. Okay. No, there's nothing wrong with stoicism. See, this is what I mean, Joe. You get in here and you make fun of me, and then people stick up for you like I'm the meanie. So not fair. Jessica. Got it. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay, starting with Tara. Let me just ground a little bit because it's been a moment. Okay. All right, Tara, here we go. So we've got first quarter moon. Your commitment is being tested. I got a flag milestone follower. I don't know what that means. Aw, thanks. First quarter moon. Okay. I already have an idea about what's coming up about this, but I've got to read the little booklet because some people like that. First quarter moon. Here we go. Okay. Your commitment is being tested. There could be some challenges coming your way, but they're just the universe's way of testing you. The first quarter moon calls for you to face any hurdles with confidence. What do you actually think is possible? If you believe you can do it, then you probably can. If you spend your life affirming that something is too big for you to surmount, it probably is. See how that works? Do you believe your dream will come true, or do you have secretly already given up? Showing some commitment now will help you move toward your desired outcome, what you believe to be true for you, so you believe in yourself. I am committed to my dreams and move toward them with confidence. The answer to your question is yes, but not yet. You're halfway to your goal. You still need to put in a bit more effort. Okay, so here's what's coming through for me. And I don't really know you, so this could, right. My mentor said, don't ever explain, just say it. Okay. Here's what's coming through for you, Tara. There's an ADHD energy of what you're doing right now in your work. It's like not moving fast enough and the evidence is not there. And so there's a part of you that's questioning it. There's a part of you that's like, but is this really working? Should I shift gears? Should I do this thing instead? There's a lot of shiny objects coming up that are kind of trying to pull your attention away or trying to entice you to try to go in a different direction because the thing that you thought was the sure thing isn't the right now thing. And so there's like this energy that's been building and like there's layers that need to be created in this work that you're doing. And there's a part of you that's like, okay, well, I don't see the result yet. I don't see it happening. It's not happening fast enough for me. So I'm getting antsy. And so this energy wants you to know that like the reason why this isn't happening the way that you want it to happen is because there needs to be some momentum built. This needs to be something that you convince yourself is the thing that you want to do, is the thing that feels aligned, is the thing that's in resonance with who you're here to be. Because if you continue to do things and dabble like you may have done before, it's not going to give you that juicy, like all in anchored feeling that you're actually looking for. The feeling you're looking for is the safety and the foundation and the like, oh, this is it. And you're not necessarily, I have seen the Schumann resonance, Bets. It's insane. I feel like my head is going to explode. And so basically what's going on is that you're being given the opportunity to see if you can roll with it, to see if you can decide that the evidence doesn't, that your faith is the evidence, that you know that it's going to work. And by virtue of that, it's going to work, right? So that is kind of like what's coming up here, is that there will be some little like ups and downs that happen in between to see if you stick with it anyway. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be bad things, but they're not quite going to take off the way you expected. And that is part of it, is to kind of give you the opportunity to acclimate, right? So you don't get like elevation sickness. But also part of it is just to kind of give you that check-in to say like, okay, is this really what I want? Is this really what resonates for me? Okay. And the other thing is that your belief is what's running the show. So it's not necessarily that it is or isn't working. It's, do you or don't you want it to work out? And we often don't really admit that because it's kind of like a subconscious thing. But we are actually the ones who say, see, I told you this would work, or see, I told you it wouldn't work, depending on how we feel about it, depending on how much we resonate with the energy. And so that's what's going on here. It's not that it's misaligned, it's that it's testing you to see if you can roll with it and be so committed to it that it doesn't matter if it feels misaligned in the moment, because you're all in, right? It's like the stock market. Like, you can lose money in the stock market by taking your money out, but if it takes a dive and you don't take your money out, did you really lose any money? Well, not until you actually take it out, right? So that's the energy. And I hope that resonates. Okay, that was Tara. Persephone. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, the Facebook algorithm must be taking notes from the Schumann, because honest to goodness, the the people that I'm seeing in my feed, I couldn't pick them out of a lineup. And it's none of you guys. Like, literally, it's people I have to go look and be like, when did I meet you? Where do I know you from? So it's definitely, it's a whole wacky day, you guys. The new moon energy, the Saturn in retrograde energy, it's all very like, whoa. Yeah, it's a huge shift. Absolutely. It's very, you know what it is, you guys? It's very much go time energy for the empaths and the highly sensitives, and like the neurodivergence, like everybody who's like of this other energy. It's this feeling of like go time. Like, you've been waiting, you've been laying in wait, you've been like, weird, like it's time. Like the alarms are going off and it's like, go do whatever it is you're here to do. Like, it's time to start, time to pull the energy out, time to pull out all the stops, time to really get into alignment with what you're here to do. Okay, Persephone. And exhausted. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the bat signal for star seeds. I'm here for it. I'm loving it. Okay. Persephone's card. Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move. Now is the time to be bold, bossy even. Take matters into your own hands. Cardinal signs are powerful and self-starting. They're determined and great at organizing. Drawing this card strongly suggests that you're going to need to be all those things to get your ideal resolution or position in the situation you're asking about. This card may challenge you on how strongly you really want something. If you're worried about a situation, it is a suggestion to be less passive. Instead, take an assertive stance as you steer events where you want them to go. Speak up for what you want. If you're serious about sorting things out, you may need to take the lead in some way to step up as a leader. I am taking charge of my destiny. Yeah, sure I can. Okay, so in astrology, there are 3 quadruplicities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. These are the signs that like to get things started and which are the natural leaders. No matter when you draw this card, it's a sign that something new is starting and you quite possibly need to take the lead on it. Yeah, so this is about new beginnings. It's about starting fresh. It's about clearing things out, getting rid of old stagnant energy, moving into alignment with next level self. Next level self is going to have identity qualities that current level self doesn't have. And so those are going to have to be left behind. And I know you said something about cutting your hair. That's definitely, yeah, exactly. That's something that definitely removes energy, right? Because there's a lot of energy and matter and things like that, and nethergy that hangs out in hair, right? And so that's definitely a card that talks about that, and really kind of taking the bull by the horns and really making up your mind that you're stepping from one portal to the next, and that the energy that you're bringing with you is going to be different and unapologetic and bold and very very big, very giant. So yeah, definitely sounds like it resonates. I love that. I love when that happens. Okay, Joe doesn't really want a card. He just wanted to bother me. April. Hey, Michelle. Michelle's so cute. Sup? I've got April, Brooke, and Jessica. So Michelle, if you want to squeeze in, I can actually put you after April so you don't miss your team time if you want. I know Brooke won't mind. Wait, actually, yeah, of course, Bets. Absolutely. And before I get started on April's card, I just want to give you guys a little heads up on this new program that I have. It's called The Plunge. It is, we think it's going to be 10 days. It might be 12 days, but we are actually going to, you move team to tomorrow. Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. So The Plunge is my new program. It's all about accessing the two components of us that are kind of stunted, that don't necessarily have the opportunity to do the growing and the excavation that they need to do in order to move into alignment with our highest self. Okay, so we are diving very, very deep. That's why it's called The Plunge. Thank you so much. It is, Bets, you know me and you know like how I feel about my programs. And I haven't done a group program in a really long time because it had to be this one. I started to do the shadow one, and then I ended up just like, it wasn't enough. It wasn't deep enough. And so I sat there for 6 months, not even doing, I totally skipped over doing Elevated again. I just couldn't get into the energy of it. And then this one dropped in and I'm like, of course. So The Plunge is currently $1,111, but it's going to go up after tonight at midnight. But basically what we're going to do through NLP, neuroenergetics, a little bit of psychic channeling, we're going to go down and we're going to find where those limiting beliefs were born. We're going to find those places in your childhood, in your adolescence, where you got the message that you weren't good enough, that you weren't worthy enough. And then we're actually going to take that energy and transmute it and rewrite the entire timeline. Then once we're done with the inner child, we're going to go for the villain. And the villain is kind of that other self, that inner like badass. We're going to do the same thing there. And then we're going to take the two of them and integrate them. And you guys, I've been doing this work with my one-on-one clients, and it is absolutely epic. And I know that this program is going to change lives. And everyone who has done my one-on-one coaching, who has heard about this program, is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're doing that. Like, so anyway, there's going to be more coming out about it. Obviously, there'll be a sales page and all that stuff. But suffice to say, it is unlike anything I've ever done. I've found a way to do NLP in a group setting, which is going to be game changing. I also am going to be doing memory revision, which if you guys have never experienced that, it's like a whole nother level. We're talking about going back in time and shifting your memories, or at least your recollection of your memories, which ripple your entire timeline. It completely shifts the quantum field in your favor. And like I said, we've had incredible results with the one-on-one clients. So it was time to bring this to a group program. So like I said, it's going to be between 10 and we think 12 days. It might even be as many as 14. And this is going to be the first program that I'm doing that's fairly consecutive, meaning normally I do like a week at a time and it's like a 10-week program or 6-week program. We're going to go like back to back to back this time because I want to get in this energy with you. I want to take you into this place where your ears are going to pop and you're just going to feel like, oh my gosh, and we're going to do the work together and you're going to come out the other side with a whole different understanding of who you are and who you're here to be. And if I sound like I'm getting chill bumps about it, it's because I am, because I am telling you, like, this work is what I'm here to do. This is why I came to this planet, was to do this work. And it's not shadow work, okay? Because shadow implies that it's a component of us that we're hiding or that needs, that is misunderstood. Like, this is the culminating work. This is the part of you that you don't work on because it's so deep. It's deep. It's down there, right? Like, you don't even give yourself the luxury of accessing it anymore because you're so busy dealing with the stuff on the surface and the boats that are coming at you and the invisible pirates and all the other things. And so this is all still going on under the surface. And so we're going to go down. We're going to go there. We're going to swim around in that reality that you had. We're going to change things. We're going to shift them from the bottom up. And I'm telling you right now, it is going to be life-changing. So if you're in for this and you're like, oh my gosh, 11/11 for 15 days possibly with you, where do I sign up? Let me know in the comments, or you can DM me. We do have some spots available. After the sales page comes out, which I think is going to be like tomorrow, and more of the information about the specifics, the price is definitely going to double. So it'll be 2222 by tomorrow morning. But if you want to get in now, it's 1111. There is no payment plan for the 1111. We really want to make sure that the people that are coming in for this particular program are ready to do this work. And I don't want it to be something that you're worried about, like this or the electric bill, right? When we get into the higher price points, we'll start talking about payment plans and things like that. But for right now, this is like a yes, Amy Lee, I'm in. Yes, I'm ready to work with you. You're my person, your energy. Like, if that's how you feel, then this is the time to get in, because I will tell you right now, this work is life-changing. And I know because I've done it for myself. This is the culmination of all of the things that I've been through, of all of the monsters I've encountered along the way, all of the misconceptions, all of the limiting beliefs that I have overcome and I have helped clients overcome. I know exactly where they are now. I know what blocks hit you in childhood. I know what blocks hit you in adolescence and early adulthood. I know how to transmute those blocks. And when we transmute those blocks, that's where the magic starts to happen. So I am so, so excited to bring you guys with me. Those amounts for the plunger repeating numbers and sound familiar. Yes, they are. They're called angel numbers, Joe. They are. Oh, hi, Anna. Hello, hello. So if you guys are interested, let me know. DM me. I see DMs are coming in right now. So I'll chat with you guys after. But honestly, if I seem excited, this is the work. This is what I came to do. I eat, sleep, and breathe the work that we're doing in the plunge. So that being said, let's go ahead with April's card reading. My Slack was going off, so I think that was Hannah, but I'm not totally sure. Okay. All right, April, here we go. Oh, thank you so much, Facebook user. Okay. New moon in Aries. April, it's time to take action. It's time to take action, April. New moon in Aries. I think we just had that, didn't we? Like the actual one? I'm pretty sure we did. Gemini. There we go. Okay. The flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons, and you're on the right track. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there is something you want to happen in your life. Take this card as a big yes from the universe. This is the time to really tune in to your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for, but the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're asking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Treat people well as you charge toward your goals. You'll create much better karma for yourself. Don't even think about giving up. I know, I was thinking that too. Do your best and be happy. Avoid being brash right now. You need a 12-month plan, and a new male is coming into your life, which, as a married person, I don't know how that's going to work out. Maybe it's Joe Ingram. He's my mentor and he's amazing. So maybe hang out with him. You guys have a lot in common, like a lot in common. Like you should hang out on TikTok, a lot in common. Hi, Katya. Oh my goodness. Oh, my favorites are here. Okay, so it's time to take action, April. And you and I maybe know what this is about. It's time for you to step into alignment with your next level self. Okay, we talked about this the other day, but it's time for you to step into the grown up version of you from a spiritual perspective. Okay, so you are so interested in all the things spiritual, all the things that are in that realm. And at the same time, there's a part of you that's like, well, that's not really for me. I mean, it's for me to investigate and it's for me to be interested in, but it's not for me to dabble in because I'm just not there yet. And the universe is kind of wringing its hands like, okay, well, what's it going to take for you to believe that you're there? And like, what's it going to take for you to believe that this is for you too? And that you're not just some extra, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Extra observer, right? Like you're supposed to be part of this. And there's a part of you that's like, oh, I don't know. Is that really for me? Is that really about me? Am I really supposed to do this? And the answer is yes. Yes. If you're interested in it and it's something that you want and it's something that you desire, then it's what you're here to do. So find those things that are calling you. If it's spirituality, maybe it's tarot, maybe it's oracle, maybe it's, I don't know, that guy with the little glasses, whatever the case may be, there's a spiritual calling. There's a come hither that's going on that you're kind of like, oh, I don't know. Am I really like, and yes, you are. Now that doesn't negate all the other things that you're doing in the 3D, right? So like the real estate stuff and the going to auctions and the, bomb party and all those things, like those are all components of your 3D life, but it's your 5D, 6D, 7D life that's beckoning you right now. That's like, WTF, where are you? Like you like this stuff. You're looking at it. We see you waving at us. Come in here, sit down. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about how this fits into your life. So that's what they mean by it's time to take action. Like it's time to connect to this energy that you know is literally calling you. It's calling you in your sleep. I think it's even calling you in the ladies' room, which is very interesting, but that's what I'm being told. So there's an energy that's very much beckoning you to come and be curious and learn and dance around with it. And when you start to do that, you're going to find the answers that you're looking for, the answers that you think are reserved for everybody but you, or for people like that. You are people like that, and it's time for you to start embracing that. Okay. Brooke, are you still here? I've got Brooke, Jessica, and Bets. Did I miss anybody else? Hi, Katya. Okay, perfect. Do I have permission to pull a card on your behalf? I appreciate you. I know. I love you. I love you so much. You don't have to come on, Michelle. I don't know. I don't feel like bringing people on tonight. I don't know why. Okay, Katya. While I'm pulling this card for Brooke, can we talk about the Facebook algorithm? What in the actual is going on? Like, I don't even know. I'm like following like 20 ministry pages. Y'all, like I'm Jewish. Like, what is going on? It's so crazy. Okay. Okay. Brooke's guides are like, we know you just drank a bunch of coffee, but if you could just calm down a little bit, would be great. Understood. Grounding. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I think everyone feels like their head's about to pop off. Blue moon. Believe in the impossible. You saw me standing alone without a dream in my heart. Okay. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance, and that something one-off could be well about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking too much of the universe. Whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, this is with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. Goodness gracious, girl, how long have I known you? This is still the core lesson. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Hi, Bathsheba. Then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. I'm lucky. Miss this chance and it might not come back anytime soon. Okay, so you and I, we go way back, right? You did one of my programs like 2.5 years ago. You are very good at the visualizing and the dreaming and the fun of it and the playing. But there's a component of you that won't take the extra step to actually utterly believe it like it's going to happen. You go as far as to play like it's playing house, right? But when it comes to actually genuinely believing it, there's still that component of you that's afraid. What if I believe it and I'm wrong? What if I make myself vulnerable? What if it doesn't happen the way that I wanted it to? And then that means that it doesn't work. But here's the thing. When you go all in, and they want me to let you know when I say this word you, we're talking about you specifically, not you like when you go all in, there's no way you can lose. You have some things that come up for you regarding going all in. Like, what will that mean? And does that change my life? And there's all these little nuances, these threads that pull at you. And those threads, each and every one of those goes on to the side of doubt. Okay. It's okay. So when we think about people who invent things like inventions, phones and cars and trucks and computers and all these things, we have this illusion. This is one of those mind-blowing things. We have this illusion that eventually they found the right way to make it work, that suddenly they put the right pieces together and it happened. What if I told you that they were simply ready to decide that they had the answer? What if the reason they stopped and it worked was because they were so overcome with belief in themselves and in the fact that they had worked hard enough, spent enough time and resources that it was ready for it to happen? Because that is how things actually come to fruition. It's not about it finally worked. It's about I finally decided that it did. And that's why things get created. That's why things that people draw and think about manifest, because the person decides that it's time for them to. So if there's any part of you that has any kind of hesitation regarding getting this role, any part of you that has a hesitation, that part of you that has the hesitation is going to pull back some of that belief power. Yeah. Yeah. Right. You've got to be ready. You've got to be in alignment. And that's what your guides are saying. Like, there can't be a plan B. There can't be a if this happens. It's time. Okay. Did you hear this? Did they say this to you? It's time to burn the boats. Is that what you heard? Because that's what I'm hearing. It's time to burn the boats. There is no way back. This is it. This is it. You are ready. Drop me off on LOTR Island, right? LOTR. Yeah. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Burn the boats. It's time. That's the word. Okay, I've got Jessica, Bets, Michelle, and Katya. You got it, Betsheva. How are you, by the way? How's the weather down in Florida? How's Alexander? Okay, so guys, just to remind you, I just want to do another quick plug for my program. Tonight is the night that today is the last day to get the earlier than early bird pricing. So it's $1,111. It's called The Plunge. We are going to go back. We're going to do some fancy footwork revision. We're going to do some NLP. We're going to actually go back to where you created the limiting belief that you were not enough, that you were not worthy, that you couldn't have the things that you desired. Now, you may say, well, Amy Lee, I don't have those limiting beliefs. Well, if you didn't, then you would have those things. And you're like, well, I don't have that. Well, if you don't have that one, then you have the other one, which is the acceptance and the validation and the good enoughness. But either way, every single person that I have come across in my coaching experience has had one of these two blocks, if not both of them. And so we're going to be going down deep, deep, deep. We're going to be revisiting the energy where you made those limiting decisions. We're going to create a ripple throughout your entire timeline. So I'm so excited. This is like my life's work. I haven't done a group program in over 6 months because of this, because of the fact that it had to be the right one. It had to be aligned. It couldn't be anything less than exactly what people needed. And I've been sharing it with some of my one-on-one clients, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe you're going to do that in a group. But we are. So if you guys are interested, like I said, I already have some people in my DMs. Yeah, we just had that huge storm and we had tornadoes and everything, Bathsheba. It was crazy. But we can talk about it. Like I said, you guys can jump in my DMs or you can comment below program or whatever, The Plunge. And by the way, if you look at the picture from The Plunge, like how gorgeous it is, Miss Katya Vilchik took that photo. So just so you know, like when you look at my photos and you're like, oh my gosh, it's because that woman is like beyond a genius. So just so you know. All right. Coming up next, we've got Jessica. Yes, I know, Source. I feel you. Thank you. Okay. Jessica, do I have permission to pull a card in your behalf? And after Jessica, we've got Bets, Michelle, Katya, and Bathsheba. Awesome. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Brittany too. Brittany's incredible. And Sierra too, if we're being honest. Sierra is the other amazing part of my team. Okay. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Wish there was like some music or something. I get why there can't be because of Mark Zuckerberg, but just saying. First and foremost, this card suggests a new start for you professionally. Whatever's been going on in your working life, this card heralds the start of new and improved work cycle. If you're unhappy in your current job, this is the time to either renegotiate your position or look for something new. Whatever your question, whether work related or otherwise, a new plan and strategy is called for. You need to take a look at the long term and think about where you want to be in 12 months or even 5 years' time. That will inform your best course of action now, so think about it. Drawing this card suggests it's time for you to be ambitious about whatever it is that you want to achieve. Make a proper plan and execute it well. You need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Capricorn is the sign of ambition, building, and hard work. The energy is solid and rigid. The new moon in Capricorn is a powerful lunation that comes toward the end of each year and marks arguably the best moment annually to make a list of your hopes, dreams, ambitions, and intentions for the year ahead. Pulling this card at any time suggests that with planning and discipline, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. Okay, Jessica, what's coming through for me is that you've had a lot of turmoil. You've had a lot of things come up in your life that are like, oh my God, are you kidding? Not again. Like, how is this still happening? How is this something that I'm struggling with? Like, how could this many things, like, how could lightning strike this many times? And so because of this consistent feeling of getting smacked in the face by events and circumstances, there's a part of you that's been conditioned to believe that this is who you are and that you're going to bring that with you everywhere you go. That like, well, it doesn't matter because that doesn't work for me. Or, oh yeah, well, why would I bother building this when it's just going to turn around and be destroyed anyway. And so what this card really wants you to know is that new means new. Just like a flame is not actually a flame that just sits there. It's actually a flame and extinguished and flame and extinguished. And it's like, it's breathing, right? The energy of you is constantly breathing in. With every day that you wake up, you become a new person. With the new moon, and especially with this new moon in Capricorn, what they're talking about is a whole cleansing of the auric field and everything that has happened to you up to this point that makes you feel like you're not a match for this kind of abundance. You've been wiped clean of that. Okay. So for me, what happened was, and my astrologer taught me about this, was that like literally there was this constellation of events, pardon the pun, that happened because Uranus was across from all of my stellium in my Scorpio house. And it was just getting smacked and smacked and smacked. And she's like, that won't happen again for 84 years. So I probably won't be alive at 40 and 84. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be a thing. So I don't have to worry about it. So I'm understanding that there's like, it's not going to be that way anymore. Now, I don't know your astrology, obviously, but what I can tell you is that what this card is saying is that there's a cleansing, there's a cleaning. And the only way that that old energy is going to come with you into this new place that you're building is if you bring it. Okay. So if you leave it at the other house in the other location, it doesn't have the ability to jump in the back of your car with you. It's only if you take the time to pack it and say, and I've got to remember that this doesn't work for me. And wait, where's that? Nobody pays attention to me. And then I need a little bit of, I'm not good enough, and you pack all that in there, then it's going to come with you. So recognizing that the you that you are is kind of like molting and shedding and stepping into a new level of yourself. And as long as you stay in alignment with that, that is who you are in this moment. And that's who you're bringing into the next phase of your life. Let's put that on the screen. I did a soul retrieval to address a lot of that stagnant energy. So yes, cleansing and clearing, inviting new learning experience. Yep. And being careful when things don't happen the way that you want them to happen, not making yourself wrong about that, making the circumstance, oh, that didn't quite go the way I wanted it to, instead of like, wow, I'm such an idiot, or, oh my gosh, that was so stupid. Right. So there's a very big difference there in the way that we interpret that energy. Yes, me too. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Bets, do I have permission to pull a card on your behalf? Oh, my pleasure. I hope it was helpful. Hold on. Joseph Ingram is in my DMs. Oh, thank you, Joe, you magical creature. I love him. Okay. Okay. Betsy's guides want a different deck. Not sure why, but we're going with it. So, fun fact, Bets, your head guide, I guess, um, is an earth spirit. So even though like there's like lunar spirits and sun spirits and whatever, and then there's like fire ones, this one's like, no, we need something energetic. Earth, the Prairie Majesty Oracle. Okay. Okay. So Coyote, play. What energizes me? The open expanse of the prairie beckons with myriad possibilities and directions to roam. Many of us were not raised in that kind of free-for-all environment. For that matter, neither were many of our ancestors. We've largely been taught to abdicate our own intuition. Amen to that. Instead, we're told to trust rules and authority figures to know what's right in both obvious and subtle ways. As we liberate ourselves from external expectations and restrictions, we might experience a spectrum of reactions. This may include unexpected overwhelm, anxiety, or even paralysis. When nothing is off limits, how can we be sure we're not getting it wrong? Coyote is impervious to such an inquiry. He gambles in with an invitation to explore a new rubric for making decisions. What feels lively and playful to you, which this makes so much sense as a Manny-Gen. Human efforts to control the population of coyote are largely ineffective. In fact, they cause greater proliferation because coyote is highly adaptable and savvy. This is worth celebrating. The presence of coyotes in an ecosystem actually supports healthy balance because they regulate the population of smaller predatory animals. These wild dogs live in packs, typically mate for life, and are well known for communicating in yelps and barks at dusk and dawn. By nature, they are playful, clever, and carefree. From this mindset, Coyote teaches us to embrace and mobilize the responsibility that comes with independence. Okay, so play. What energizes me? So as a manifesting generator, as a generator in general, what we tend to do is, well, what we should do is we should focus on what lights us up. That's where we're going to be our most magnetic. That's when we're going to create our greatest good in the world. Okay. And so when we do not allow ourselves to do this play, when we try to force ourselves to do the work, that is when we shrink that sacral magnetism, which is how we do our best work in the world. So if we're constantly working at odds with the system that we think we're supposed to live by, we're in effect, we're being less effective doing what we're supposed to be doing, okay, rather than what we want to be doing, if that makes sense. So you've got these values that you kind of grew up with, that like you should work a 9 to 5 and you need to go to the office and make sure that you take vacation and buy your grandmother a present on her birthday and make sure you write a thank you note and all these things, these values. And then you've got what's really matters to you. And there's a dissonance there for a lot of us. We don't realize what a chasm there is between ourselves and the generation previous to us, because most people in that generation we're brought up in a very like, speak when you're spoken to, do what you're supposed to do, work hard, play hard, that kind of thing. And we come from a very different paradigm. We've been read in on very different information in this in this generation, in this half generation even. And so this is to remind you that you're here to enjoy your life, to smell the roses, to pick the vegetables, to eat the deliciousness, to really squeeze every drop out of life, because that is where you're going to be your most potent. When you get caught up in the pressure of, I should be doing this, and I should be doing this, and I need to do this, and I should do this, that's where you get tripped up. So Coyote wants you to know that there's got to be time for fun and for play and for raising your own vibration. That's where you're going to be the most effective and the most helpful to the world. Okay. Michelle is next. Then we've got Katya, then Batsheva, and then Brittany. Is that everybody? I think that's all of us. Okay. Back to the moon. Michelle, do I have permission to pull a card on your behalf? Okay. If you're just joining us, hi, I'm Amy Lee. I am a mystic, mentor, mother, goddess. You're so welcome, Bets. And I am pulling cards for the new moon energy. The new moon is all about new beginnings, planting new seeds, figuring out what we want in this iteration of our existence, and working towards those things in alignment with our desires and our desires, really our desires, our spiritual desires. Okay, here we go. Ooh, another blue moon. Believe in the impossible. Hey, Sophia. Okay, so you just heard what this one said, but it's the one that Brooke got. That's all about things like once in a lifetime things happening. So somewhere in your life, Miss Michelle, some once in a lifetime thing is happening. And I know that you have your big trip coming up. So I think maybe there might be some kind of an opportunity that might come for you while you're there. I don't know what it is, but something. Let's read this again. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance and that something one-off could well be about to happen. Oh, maybe you're going to get diamonds. That could be it. There are usually 3 full moons between each equinox and solstice. Sometimes, though, we get 4 full moons in a single season. When that happens, the third of the season's 4 full moons is called a blue moon. At least that was the original definition of a blue moon. These days, it's popular to use blue moon for the second full moon in any calendar month that has 2 full moons. That was way too much astronomy for me. The person you're inquiring about is a rare find. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. The situation is unlikely to repeat. Okay, so given this information, an opportunity or something is going to come along that is going to require you to make a choice, to make a decision. And it is that decision that will make the difference between if this thing opens up for you or if it passes you by. So being mindful of that, listening for those opportunities. If someone comes to you and says, hey, Michelle, so-and-so backed out of blah, 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 and we need you to teach a class at convention, the answer is yes. Hey, Michelle, so-and-so, needs one more person to be on the panel. The answer is yes. Like, the answer is yes. That is what the message is. Something is coming, some crazy thing, something that you didn't even know was possible, and it's coming. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I know. Did we use this in a photo shoot yet? Because I kind of feel like I want to. I don't know. I love you, Katya. Yeah, it's one of those like felt pens, and I just went across my eye, and I didn't even put eyeshadow on because it's just like, I put this on mostly so you can see that I have eyes, because when I don't put eye makeup on and I go live, my eyes don't pick up, and then it just doesn't look as, it just doesn't, like, I don't look like I'm looking at you. She's getting to see you. Yes, April. Yes. Please send me all the chainsaws. Thank you. Okay. Katya. It elongates them. Okay. I had no idea. I just did like literally just took the felt pen and just went across, and I didn't even do eyeshadow or anything. I did this doesn't have a filter either. Okay, Brittany, like I know that you know about my little filter addiction. But this doesn't have one at all. This is literally my regular face with all of my wrinkles. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Michelle. I already miss you. You're only going to Alabama, which is literally like closer to me than you live now. Okay, Katya, do I have permission to pull a card on your behalf? Katya, you could wear a paper bag and you'd be gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Brittany. You guys, Brittany taught me, she teaches like virtual makeup classes. She taught me how to contour, like she taught me how to do highlights, like all of the things. Because of her, I know how to do my face. So if you guys are interested, oh my God, Betsheva, like literally you are absolutely gorgeous. You do not need a filter. Stop it. But if you guys are interested, I know I want to go in the escape room. I would love to. Wouldn't that be so cool if I just like surprised everybody? Hold on, brain fart. So you guys, so Brittany teaches classes. So if you guys are interested in learning how to do your makeup, she's amazing. She definitely amazing. When you guys see my photos, like all my photos on the beach and everything else, like all my professional photos, Brittany did my makeup. She's amazing. Part of my dream team. Okay. Oh my God, Michelle, she's amazing. She will literally sit there with you on Zoom and like show you how to do your eyeliner and everything. She's amazing. I love her. Connect with her after. She's awesome. Okay. Katya, are you still there? Do I have permission to pull a card? Yes, sweet friend. Okay, good. Okay. Katya's guide said, you need to ground. She's not going to take it seriously if you don't get into the energy. Okay. All right. I'm grounding. Okay. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. Okay. Before I even go get the book, I got a download, so I want to share what came through. There are components of your vision that have to do with, yeah. So, okay. So you want to hear more about your guide. So this guide is feminine, and she's kind of almost like a grandmother, but like a really young grandmother. So she's got like, she's like just into the crone phase. She's kind of more like an aunt, like a crazy aunt kind of a thing. And she's really sweet, but she's serious. She's very serious. And she kind of gives you that, you know, when you like walk into a room and a baby's sleeping and you've been in a room that was loud and the person's like, shh, that's what your guide is. So I don't know what she looks like, but her energy is very like she just kind of went like this. Cause I was like, she's like, hold on, just relax. Like you need to bring the energy down to really kind of like share this in a way that's going to resonate with Katya, because if it comes in too high energy, she's not going to resonate with it. So back to this vision thing. So before we're looking at this card, before we're looking up the card, it says hold the vision. So there's two components of this vision for you. There's the part of you that has some pressure, that feels like the need to perform, the need to excel, the need to succeed, the need to provide. And there is a part of you that is in alignment with that vision. There's another part of you that has a vision of something that's a little bit more feminine, something a little bit more flowy, a little bit more surrendered, a little bit less in control and more kind of flowy, something that feels more like hanging upside down and knowing that someone's there to catch you. So what you have to be careful of is that you don't sway too much to the side of the protector masculine, like, I'm going to make all the things happen. I'm going to be successful, 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K, whatever K, that you also allow the desires of the inner feminine, of the flow, the relaxation, the enjoying yourself, and not enjoying yourself while also watching your Facebook, or enjoying yourself while also making sure that everybody else's needs are met. Because what you're going to find whenever you get to wherever you go after this life is that that was part of it. That was part of the mission. And if you only do part of the mission, well, then you only did part of the mission. Does that make sense? And so knowing that hold your vision in this case isn't about like keep your eye on the prize, you're almost there. For you, this is about recognizing that there's a whole component of you that may not be in alignment with what you consider to be success or abundance, or, marching down the field of like checking the boxes. But that part of you very much needs to be supported and resonates deeply with this idea of wholeness. And so both of those pieces come together to make you who you are. Okay, so now let's see what this says. Oh, no way. There's a little app for this. That's fun. Okay. There are two main possibilities with this card. The first is that you need to stand firm in whatever situation you're in. The second, very different interpretation, is that something is stuck. That could well be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheels so that the events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great, because if you really want to change, there's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break a deadlock. With two interpretations for this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and what meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self-reflection. Yes, just say the word a lot and see how it feels. Staying power, faith, or patience are needed. Someone needs to back down. Avoid stagnation. In astrology, there are three quadruplicities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The fixed signs can be stubborn. So anything that's just starting as you draw this card may well last longer. So that's exciting. There's no judgment when we say that while it's admirable how much staying power the fixed signs have, they can also be obstinate. So the part of you that's like, I just have to keep going, I just have to keep achieving, I just have to keep making it happen, is going to start to grate against the part of you that's like, when do we get to just relax? When do we get to make love? When do we get to eat amazing food and not be like, okay, well, I've got to be out of here in 20 minutes. Like, yeah, let's go to that place and have the 5-course meal. Hold on. Oh gosh, I was supposed to talk to that girl at 10 o'clock. Like, that is going to fly in the face of the abundance that you're trying to create. And you are currently on a path of, if I can just get this one more client, if I could just do this thing, if I could just make this much money, then I get to relax. And so this is kind of your guide, is like, let's remember that there are two parts of this vision. There's the feminine, there's the masculine, and you're here to achieve both of them, not just the ones that are the conventional way that society looks at the world. Hope that helps. Okay, Bathsheba. And then Brittany. Was there anybody else in the queue? Story of my life. Is there a Russian or a Ukrainian named Milka? Ilka? Something? Milka? Milka? Ilka? That's the name of that guide. Milka or Milka. I don't know. Maybe it's not Russian or Ukrainian, but that's her name. Bulgarian. Milka? It's not milk like the drink. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's Yiddish. Could be Yiddish. Okay, but Shiva, this card is for you. I have a permission to pull a card on your behalf. I think I do, because I think you asked. This one is for you. Is it okay if I pull a card for you? Okay. Full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. Oops. Okay. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over minutia can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Take time out for a mini break or adventure. The full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure and there's a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. Okay. You are in a very interesting situation, being that you are a widow, you've already been married for many years, you've had children, and there is a part of you that wants to have that again, right? Not the children part, obviously, but the companionship and the partnership. And then there's also this component where you are potentially looking for a suitor in a completely different world than the one that you were brought into and the one that, you started with. And that can be very intimidating. I met my husband on the internet. Like that's where we met. And so like that, but that was very much part of that. That was kind of at the beginning of that in life. Now you say, oh, I met so-and-so on the internet. And it's like, oh yeah, no big deal, whatever. Yeah, my dog. And so there's a component of you that likes that wants to have that again, right? Because there's a comfort level to that. But also dating in this age is so different. It's such a different energy. And there's so many ways that it can go wrong. So what I'm getting for you is that maybe there are components where you can have adventure with other females that feels safe to you, that feels fun with other, because you're really still really young. I know you don't feel like you are, but you actually are really young. I mean, my parents are 15 years older than you, and they're still doing things and whatever. Right. No, I didn't mean you were interested in marriage, but everybody wants somebody to hang out with and somebody to talk to and like whatever. Anyway, my point though is that there are lots of ways to kind of force those situations that people do, like dating sites and things like that. But there's also organic ways to do those things, to have adventures, to go out and do things. And you have an opportunity that's awesome that you have awesome friends. So you have an opportunity to do those fun things. And if there is going to be some kind of a match, it's going to happen from what you're already doing. you're not meant to go and seek it out. And if you're not seeking it out, perfect, and you're doing it exactly right. But what I'm getting at is it's not going to be like a quest. It's going to be a by the way. It's going to be a byproduct of the amazing life that you're already having. So it will feel like breathing. It will, if it happens, it will feel very organic and very light and very easy. But it's not something that you have to, endeavor to create if that's even something that you want. And it doesn't sound like it is. So that's the information, is to look at it from the perspective of, I want to have a great life. I want to enjoy myself. I want to have fun. I want to hang out with my dog. I want to hang with my friends. I want to eat good food. I want all those things. And whatever falls under that is a byproduct. But at the end of the day, the big picture is the life that I desire and the life that I want to create for myself. So I hope that helped. Okay, Brittany, who is your guide? Hold on. I'm not actually getting anything from a guide for you. That doesn't mean there isn't one. Of course there is. Sometimes I can feel the energy of guides and sometimes I can't. In terms of like how we pulled the card, I didn't even get any guidance on how to pull. So as we do more card readings, there definitely could be an opportunity to to find out who it is, but this time I didn't actually get anything. Let me just check one more time. But if something comes through, I'll let you know. Okay, Brittany, you are the last one on my list. Do I have permission to pull a card on your behalf? You're welcome, Bathsheba. So good to see you. Okay. Just a moment. Brittany, did you have somebody that passed away in your life that was a hairdresser? Someone really, really eccentric? Older woman, reddish hair? That's the guy that we're talking to here. Oh, okay. So that's the guy that we're getting here. Okay, fine. She said, my Brittany doesn't want a moon card. She wants a goddess card. She needs something powerful. She needs something big. Okay. Gula healing. I opened right to it. Okay. Do I want the alignment message or do I want the empowerment message? Alignment. Okay. The goddess Gula calls you to recognize that you're running on empty. You have nothing left to give. You've reached the end of the road and you must stop what you're doing and consider the implications of your actions run amok. Do you need to set better boundaries around your enthusiastic tendency to say yes to everything? Have you allowed others to drain you because you feel it's your job to listen, love them, and fix them? Do your close companions cling to their victim stories and continue to impose them on you? Your alignment task is to step back and assess what is true and make new choices and maybe put yourself first. You will be glad you did. Just remember, it is sometimes the healing choice to take a break and only focus on you for a change. Okay, so I don't know how effective that's going to be, seeing as how it's wedding season and that's what you do. But I think what she's talking about is the idea that you take on the energetic burdens of others. And so they maybe unload on you at like girls' night or on the phone or on Messenger or something like that. And then you don't necessarily clear that energy and you take that into you. And then you go off to a job or something and then they dump something on you and you're not necessarily giving yourself the time that you need to like take Epsom salt baths and to really like purge yourself of that like not negative energy, but it's just not your energy. And so it starts to eat away at your energetic field. And then it also means that when you do have emotions, that you don't process your own emotions because you just kind of pack other people's emotions. For the love source, why do you make my nose so itchy? What does she need to hear? What? Oh, okay. Okay. This is really bizarre. And as your client, I don't know that I love saying this, but there's a way to make as much money as you need to make and not kill yourself. And that is raising your prices and making your services more bespoke. And she said that you're gonna balk at that. And so to remind you that there's a market for high-end goods like Prada and Coach and all these other, not Coach, but Prada and what Chanel and all these other brands. And so the story that you're telling yourself that in order to live the lifestyle that you want to live, that you have to run yourself ragged is not actually effectively the truth. It's that you're not brave enough to step into energetic alignment with what you truly know you could create for yourself if you stood in that truth. And so if you're, if your rebuttal is, well, I have to work in order to have the lifestyle that I want to have, the answer to that is no, you don't. You can take less clients at higher levels and have more time for yourself. And that's what you wanted when you decided to create this career for yourself. Oh. Well, it might be, but it also could just be the green screen. But yeah, very well. I mean, the energy of it could be for sure. Anything else? Anything else that Brittany needs to know? You've been thinking about getting takeout, and you should get it before they close. I don't know. Just the messenger. Okay. Not that. When you looked to your side. You're welcome. Okay. I think that's everybody. I think that's all of us. So let me just do one more quick plug for the program. Nothing about takeout. Okay, good. I just heard something about getting some food, ice cream or something like that you should get it if you're thinking about it. You're so welcome. So guys, real quick, my program, The Plunge, is happening sometime in the next couple of weeks, we're going to figure out who's in it and how many, it's going to have a max of 10 people, but this is going to be my life's work. This is the culmination of everything that I've created up until this point. The stuff I do with my one-on-one clients. I would love to have you guys until tonight at midnight, which is about 3 hours. It's going to be $1,111, pay in full. The price will double starting tomorrow morning when we start having a sales page and all the things. So if you guys have questions, you want to hear more about that program, definitely get in the DMs. If you would like to hear more about one-on-one coaching, we do have really? Oh my goodness. We do have payment plans for that as well. So I hope that this is helpful. If any of you guys would like, you're more than welcome to come back next week. We do this every Sunday night at 7 p.m. As you can tell, I'm starting to slur my words because I have just used up all the energy. And so I think my husband made me pasta with hamburgers, so I'm going to go eat it. I love you guys so much. And I hope that this was really helpful for those of you who had your readings. Until next week, happy Father's Day, and I'll see you all very soon.